going on, everyone? This is my review for Brittany Runs a Marathon, which stars Jillian Bell as the titular character Brittany. As she is finding herself in life, she is trying to run a marathon, obviously, and she's trying to make a lot of positive changes in her life, which means she has to essentially expunge her old life, which was the complete opposite of being really positive and forward-thinking. This was a movie that, I'll be honest, I wasn't that looking forward to, other than the fact that Jillian Bell, I think, was pretty funny in 22 Jump Street. And, of course, it's a Sundance movie. And I've noticed in the past year or so, that's when I kind of picked up on that Sundance movies are pretty darn awesome, honestly, usually. I mean, this year alone, we had Loose, which was great. And, I mean, these are festival movies. Festival movies are just garnished for critical acclaim oftentimes. And this movie is such a case as well. I mean, it got, rave reviews. And the question is, does it hold up? Does this film actually garner those reviews and earn them? Well, yes, it does. I think this is a rock-solid movie. I think Jillian Bell is easily the best part of the movie. It's honestly kind of crazy because throughout the duration of the movie, her transformation was pretty awesome. And, of course, I looked up right before filming this review that she actually lost 40 pounds. And it shows. I mean, my goodness, that's quite a transformation. And it's honestly pretty awesome to see that. And I liked how this character was trying to do a lot of positive changes from, working out to, the people she's hanging out around with, to getting a good night's sleep. And it's just stuff that you never really think about and they never really show sometimes in movies. But this movie shows, mundane tasks being done. But it's done in a way where it's entertaining. I mean, this movie, throughout its entire 103-minute runtime, it is entertaining. And I think what also has kind of helped out is that the cast, although not really fleshed out too much, they do a pretty darn good job of helping out the main character get to her goals and everything. And again, not spoiling anything, but it's pretty awesome to see that. I also think this movie is pretty funny when it need be. And there are some pretty cool dramatic beats that I think work. Some that don't necessarily, but the ones that do, it's pretty awesome. And I think it's an easy breezy movie, and the messages are also pretty good. This movie is body positive, very positive with, working out, eating healthy, and just looking at yourself in the mirror and being able to say, you know what, I'm happy with myself. It doesn't matter what other people think, what matters is what I think. And I don't know, I think it's a really good message, and especially in a culture that is just so obsessed with body imagery and just saying mean stuff to other people just because their body image isn't what that individual thinks that they should be. I mean, I don't know. I think that this film has a good message to be told. And I think that it's a movie that everyone can watch and get something out of. And I don't think it's a perfect movie, but I think with what it's going for, it's really cool. But I will say this, it is flawed. Now, the first flaw I wanted to say is that this movie does have a tendency to fall into comedy cliches. I hate comedy cliches. As most of you know, there are two genres that I absolutely hate of cliches. And maybe it's just because they're the most movies I see in theaters, especially as of the past couple of years. But horror and comedy cliches I hate the most so, especially comedy cliches where there are two friends that, drift off, they become best friends again, or there's a couple where they're not quite a couple, they don't really know, then they either get together or they break up. It's just stuff like that that just feels like it's overdone, or the first two acts trying to be funny and then the final act getting all serious. So this movie doesn't do the latter too often, but it does kind of dip its toes into these cliches, and it doesn't transcend them, unfortunately. I also think that the movie's kind of confusing a bit. It's very body positive and being happy with yourself, but at the same time, the main character, Brittany, she makes a lot of, in my opinion, mistakes. Now look, I'm going to get a little personal, but for me personally, I do pride myself in eating healthy. I do try my darndest to eat really healthy. And I do exercise. I work out each day, 5 days a week. And I don't think when running for a marathon, drinking Gatorade helps out. Gatorade has a lot of sugar. It doesn't have enough electrolytes as you might think. And it's got a lot of carbs. And also a lot of chemicals. you want to drink something that, you know, actually gives you the electrolytes and a reduced amount of sugar, while at the same time a heap full of potassium, drink coconut water. But the people in these movies, they're drinking Gatorade, and I'm like, okay, maybe that's product placement, but at the same time, I'm like, they're running a marathon, you know? They know that when running and trying to burn energy, if you're going to have sugar, you got to have the right kind of sugar, and if you're going to have the bad kind of sugar, which is what they're having in the movie, either way, you're supposed to have like a fiber with it and a protein, and they didn't. So I'm just kind of like, come on now. And I know it's a minor nitpick to those of you that aren't really into healthy food eating. It won't matter to you, but for me personally, it did kind of bother me, especially since throughout the movie they're also drinking like beer and other stuff. And I get it that people have cheat days, but they never once say in the movie, "Oh, I'm having a cheat day." It's just kind of like they're just eating the normal stuff, like cheese fries. It's like, you're trying to run a marathon and you're trying to be able to have endurance, and this is what you're eating? I don't know. It just, for me personally, it just kind of bugs me. And I know, again, to the average person, it's not going to bother them. For me personally, I can't help but say that it bothered me. But those gripes aside, the cliches and just the maybe misinformation of the movie with what it's showing in terms of like eating, that aside, I think this is a rock solid movie. I think that if you're looking for a feel-good movie with some neat emotional moments, as well as some comedic undertones that work to the most part, then look no further. Brittany Runs a Marathon, it's a rock solid movie, and that's why, for me personally, I'll be giving it a 3.5 out of 5 star rating, which, for those like a hot sauce rating, it gets the good old Texas Pete pure hot sauce. It's a rock solid movie for a rock solid hot sauce, and yeah, that's my review for it. Short and brief, besides the little lecture about healthy food, but just my opinion. But anyways, guys, let me know your thoughts on the film. Did you like it? Did you not? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. As always, don't forget the subscription, notification bell, and I'll catch you guys later.